To begin the scarf from the corner, we're going to make a slip knot. The slip knot does not count as the first stitch. Then we will do 1, 2, 3, 4 chains. Insert the hook in the first chain, pull yarn through to make a ring. Next step, 3 chains, and then we will make 6 double crochets into this 4 chain loop. Yarn over, go inside the circle, inside the ring, pull yarn out, yarn over through 2 loops, and yarn over through 2 loops. So now we have this chain and also a first stitch. We will make 5 more double crochet stitches inside the circle. Then we go on to next row, and this is our wrong side. We're going to make 1, 2, 3 chains, and we are turning to this side. This is going to be our right side, despite the fact that these previous single double crochets are looking like they're on the wrong side. So here we count 3 chains as a first double crochet. Then we take a yarn over, we skip 1 stitch, and we work into next one. We're going to make our crossed double crochets. Pulling yarn out, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. This is one of the 2 double crochets that are crossed. Then we're making the second one. Yarn over, go back into the skipped loop, pull yarn out, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Making next crossed double crochet between this and this loop. Yarn over, skip 1, go in next, double, yarn over, go into a skipped stitch, double crochet. Next, this is going to be our last cross double crochet. Yarn over, skip a loop, go in next, double crochet, yarn over, go into skipped loop, another double crochet. To end this row, we are going to make a double crochet into the same loop as one leg of these cross double crochet, the last loop. Okay. That's your row. That's your next row. The next step is to do a whole row of half double crochets. We're going to make 2 chains, turn the work, and make 2 half double crochets in the first turning chain. Let's do this. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's the first half double crochet. Yarn over, going to the same place because we're trying to do 2 in that same stitch. Yarn over, pull through all loops on hook. And from now on, we are going to just go across and make 1 half double crochet in each stitch in this row, all until we get to the last stitch. Okay, this turning chain on the previous row is actually counting as a stitch, so we are going to make 2 half double crochets into this last stitch. Usually it's hard to find a little hole there. Try to go under 2 yarns, not under 1, so it doesn't stretch too much. So we go 1 half double crochet, and then we take a yarn over and do another half double crochet into this this particular stitch. We should have a total of 10 half double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Great. Let's go on to next row. The next row calls for 3 chains. Chain 3, then turn. And now we're going to do our puff stitches. Because we're increasing and we're working on a bias, we need to start making our puff stitch not in the very first stitch, but even before, in the base of the turning chain. Let's go. Yarn over, find that first chain in the base of the turning chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull up 1 loop, and yarn over, pull up 1 loop. Then I do another yarn over, pull through all loops on hook, and I personally like to make 1 more chain on top of my puff stitch. Yarn over, I skip 1 stitch and I go into next, and I do my puffs here, yarn over, pull, yarn over, pull. So I do it 3 times for each puff stitch, then yarn over, pull through all of them, and secure with a chain. And then I keep going, skip 1 stitch, do my puff, and pull through all, secure with a stitch. When we get to the last part, we will put up a last puff into the last stitch of this row. Let's do yarn over, another yarn over, and another yarn over. Yarn over and pull through all of them. Chain. And the last thing we do is we are going to put a double crochet into the same stitch as the puff stitch, just to make it symmetric. Remember how we did the 3 chains here? So we're gonna have the double crochet here, like as if it's another 3 chains on the other side. So that's how you do these rows. The next row is going to be half double crochet into each stitch across. To begin the next row, I make 1, 2 chains, turn my work to the wrong side, and I will make 2 half double crochets in the first stitch. My first stitch will actually be this stitch. So I'm gonna go in half double crochet and the top of the puff stitch, then that 1 chain space that we created after the puff stitch, next puff stitch, to 1 chain space, and so on. All of these stitches are half double crochets. As I come to the last puff stitch, I make half double crochet into it, and then I have a 3 chain space here. I remember our beginning chain on the previous row, so I will make 2 half double crochets into under this 3 chain space. So basically, by having 2 half double crochets at the beginning and 2 half double crochets at the end of each row, we are expanding the triangle and making it bigger. This pattern will repeat over and over. Let me make one more row, which will complete the cycle of rows needed to expand the scarf. So our next stitch is going to be a complete repeat of a cross double crochet row. So I'm making 3 chains, turning this over, and then I'm looking at my chains and I need to skip 1 and work in 1. So I skip 1, take yarn over, go into the second stitch. I'm done, and then I do a yarn over and cross over into the skipped stitch. We're doing double crochet here, and we keep going. Sometimes it's hard to see where you already worked, so I would just be very attentive not to go twice into the same stitch. So this stitch is already worked into, then we have this one that I'm gonna skip, and this one is the one for my first double crochet leg. There we go, and we go to the end. The pattern is really good at describing how many stitches of cross double crochet or puffs you need in each row. So you could just count and make sure you're in the right at the right count, and the shape should form a right angle here at the beginning. So let's get to the end of this row, and we have our, it looks like a last crossed double crochet, but I do have the last half double and a little chain space here. So we're gonna go in the chain space or in the top of the chains, and then we're gonna go into the last half double to cross it. And we finish the row with a double crochet into the very last top chain here to make it symmetric to what was at the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that is exactly what we need in this row. And then you just continue doing, so the next row is going to be half double crochet as we flip to the wrong side. Then we flip and do puff stitch, then we flip, your wrong side will always be half double, and then we flip and we do cross, and we repeat it on and on until we reach the required width of the scarf. So in my case, this is where I began. Let me show this a little bit better. This is where I began, and I had to repeat the cycle. So this is 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So I had to repeat the cycle 4 times before I decided that this width was good enough for me. After you get to the width you want, this is a good width for the scarf. If you wanted to do a cowl, I would do another extension here of another 4 row cycle, and then start making it straight. To make it straight, you're gonna have a little bit different workflow, and let me show this to you.